How to build a budget that doesn't feel painful. Creating a budget is often viewed as a daunting task, something complicated, restrictive, or even unpleasant. Many people associate budgeting with deprivation, feeling as if they're giving up their pleasures or constantly stressing over every dollar they spend. This negative perception can make the idea of budgeting seem overwhelming, leading to avoidance or procrastination. But the truth is, building a budget doesn't have to be painful or stressful. When approached with the right mindset and strategies, budgeting can become an empowering, freeing, and even enjoyable activity. It's about gaining control over your finances, understanding where your money goes, and making intentional choices that support your personal goals and values. 1. Change your mindset about budgeting. The very first step to making budgeting feel less painful is to shift how you think about it. Instead of viewing it as a restrictive set of rules or a source of guilt, see it as a helpful tool that puts you in the driver's seat of your financial life. Think of budgeting as a way to make conscious, informed decisions, rather than a punishment for spending too much. It's about creating a plan that aligns your spending with what matters most to you. Whether that's saving for a future home, funding your education, traveling, or simply ensuring peace of mind. When you start seeing budgeting as an act of self-care and a form of empowerment, it becomes less about limitations and more about what you're gaining: clarity, control, and confidence. Visualize your money as a resource that you can direct intentionally, rather than feeling like it's controlling you. This mindset shift can transform your entire approach, turning what once felt restrictive into a positive and motivating activity. 2. Start small and simplify. Many people get overwhelmed by trying to create a perfect, detailed budget from the outset. The idea of tracking every expense meticulously for months or creating complex spreadsheets can feel intimidating. The secret to success is to start small and keep it simple. Begin by tracking your expenses for just 1 month. Write down everything, every purchase, no matter how small: coffee, snacks, online subscriptions, or spontaneous purchases. The goal here isn't perfection, it's awareness. Next, create a basic budget with just a few broad categories that cover your main expenses. Income, your total take-home pay after taxes. Fixed expenses, rent or mortgage. Utilities, insurance premiums, loan payments. Variable expenses, food, entertainment, dining out, clothing, transportation, savings and debt repayment. Money set aside for future needs or paying off loans. Keep things straightforward. You don't need to track every dollar in excruciating detail right away. The key is to make the process approachable and sustainable, so you're more likely to stick with it over the long term. Remember, building a budget is a marathon, not a sprint. Starting with manageable steps reduces the risk of burnout or frustration. 3. Set realistic and flexible goals. One of the main reasons budgeting feels painful is because many people set unrealistic or overly restrictive goals. For instance, cutting out all fun and entertainment might seem like a good idea initially, but can quickly lead to resentment or burnout. Instead, focus on setting achievable, motivating targets that you can actually stick to. For example, if you love dining out, allocate a reasonable amount for restaurants each month, rather than banning eating out altogether. If your goal is to save money, start with a small, incremental savings target, say $50 or $100 per month, and gradually increase it over time. Flexibility is essential. Life is unpredictable. Expenses can pop up unexpectedly. Income can fluctuate due to seasonal work or bonuses, and priorities change. Incorporate some wiggle room into your budget, so you're not stressed if you occasionally overspend in one area or need to make adjustments. For example, set aside a miscellaneous category or keep a buffer fund. 4. Automate and simplify payments. One of the most effective ways to make budgeting feel effortless is to automate routine financial tasks. Set up automatic transfers for bills, savings contributions, and debt payments. For example, schedule your rent or mortgage to be paid automatically each month, along with your utility bills and insurance premiums. Then, arrange for a fixed amount to be transferred into your savings account or investment fund right after each paycheck deposits. Automation reduces the mental burden of remembering due dates, avoiding late fees, and manually transferring money. It also ensures that your financial priorities, like saving and debt repayment, are consistently addressed. Automation minimizes impulsive spending because your money is allocated before you even have a chance to spend it. If you pay yourself first by automating savings, you won't be tempted to spend what you intend to save. Plus, it reduces stress because you don't have to think about each bill or transfer. Everything happens seamlessly. Many banking apps and financial services offer features to set up recurring payments, making it easier than ever to implement automation. 5. Focus on what matters most. Rather than obsessing over every single dollar, focus on your core expenses. Those costs that are essential and non-negotiable. Ensure these are fully covered first. These might include rent or mortgage payments, utilities, groceries, insurance, and minimum debt payments. Once your essentials are secure, you can allocate remaining funds toward discretionary spending and savings. Prioritizing what truly matters also means spending intentionally on activities or items that bring you joy or support your goals. If travel is a passion, budget for trips or experiences instead of cutting them out entirely. If health is a priority, allocate funds for gym memberships, healthy food, or wellness classes. When you spend on what aligns with your values, budgeting becomes less about restrictions and more about supporting your lifestyle and happiness. This approach helps you avoid the guilt or frustration that often accompanies strict budgeting. Instead, it encourages mindful spending, making sure every dollar serves a purpose and contributes to your overall well-being. Over time, this mindset fosters a healthier, more balanced relationship with money. 6. Use visual tools to track progress. Visual aids can make budgeting more engaging, motivating, and easier to understand. Use charts, graphs, or color-coded spreadsheets to visualize how your money flows each month. For example, creating a pie chart that shows the percentage of your income spent on different categories can help you quickly identify areas where you might be overspending. Seeing your expenses laid out visually makes it easier to understand your habits and make adjustments. Some people find satisfaction in tracking their savings growth visually, using progress bars or charts that show milestones reached, such as paying off a credit card or saving a specific amount. Celebrating these small wins keeps you motivated and reinforces positive habits. For example, you might reward yourself with a small treat or activity when you hit a savings milestone, which can make the process more enjoyable. Visual tools also help you stay accountable. When you see where your money is going, you're more aware and intentional. They turn abstract numbers into tangible progress, making budgeting feel less like a chore and more like a game or challenge worth engaging with. 7. Incorporate fun and rewards. Many people think of budgeting as a strict, joyless activity, but that doesn't have to be the case. Incorporating fun and rewards into your financial plan can make the process more balanced and enjoyable. For example, if you meet your savings goal for the month, so treat yourself to a small indulgence, perhaps a nice dinner, a movie night, or a small gift. These rewards reinforce positive behavior and give you something to look forward to, making it easier to stay committed. Building in rewards also helps combat feelings of deprivation. Instead of feeling guilty about spending, you can plan for occasional treats that align with your values. For instance, if you love coffee, allocate a small monthly budget for specialty drinks. If you enjoy experiences, plan a weekend getaway or a special outing once you've achieved a milestone. The key is moderation. Rewards should be meaningful but not derail your progress. When you associate budgeting with achievement and positive reinforcement, it shifts from being a restrictive activity to one that supports your happiness and well-being. Over time, this positive association can help you develop healthier, sustainable financial habits. 8. Regularly review and adjust. A budget isn't a static document or a one-time setup. Life is constantly changing. Your income, expenses, and priorities evolve. To stay on track and keep your budget relevant, schedule regular review sessions, monthly, quarterly, or whatever frequency works best for you. During these reviews, examine your spending to see if it aligns with your goals. If you overspent in a category, don't see it as a failure. View it as an opportunity to learn. Adjust your budget accordingly. Maybe you need to allocate more for dining out or entertainment, or perhaps you want to cut back elsewhere. Flexibility and ongoing adjustments make budgeting a dynamic tool that adapts to your changing circumstances, reducing frustration and guilt. Tracking your progress over time also helps you celebrate successes and recognize areas for improvement. Over time, you'll develop a better understanding of your habits and how to optimize your financial plan, making budgeting feel less like a chore and more like an empowering journey. 9. Be kind to yourself. Lastly, remember that budgeting is a process, not perfection. It's normal to make mistakes, encounter setbacks, or have months where things don't go as planned. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. Celebrate every small victory, whether it's sticking to your spending limits, paying off a debt, or simply tracking your expenses consistently. If you slip up, don't see it as a failure. Instead, view it as a learning opportunity. Every mistake or setback offers insight into what adjustments are needed to improve your financial habits. Building healthy financial behaviors takes time and effort, and progress is often non-linear. Practice self-kindness, patience, and persistence. Over time, these habits will become more natural, and managing your money will feel less like a chore and more like a form of self-respect. In conclusion, building a budget that doesn't feel painful hinges on mindset, simplicity, flexibility, and self-compassion. Start small, focus on your core priorities, automate routine tasks, and review your progress regularly. Remember, budgeting is a powerful tool to support your goals and well-being, not a punishment. When approached thoughtfully, it can be an empowering, even enjoyable part of your life, helping you achieve your financial dreams while maintaining your peace of mind.